to turn to your neighbors and greet them in their inherent worth and dignity. I am Reverend Bob Renjilian. I use he, him pronouns. I've been the minister here at the Unitarian Universalists of Transylvania County since the summer of 2020. It is so good to have you here. I see somebody who's new here. I see somebody who's been here just once before. I see a few people that have been around here lots of times. And I'm glad you're all here. Our mission is to support individual spiritual journeys and to promote social, economic, and environmental justice. And I have a few announcements to share with you. And this is from the Social Action Team. While many are working on a national level to return SNAP benefits to people who depend on them, some local agencies here in Transylvania County are working together to make food available to folks who need it right now. Yeah, the Hunger Coalition, Bread of Life, and Sharing House met to determine how to move forward. The way we can help most is through financial donations so that they can continue to provide food through their existing food distributions and meal services. Please look for the QR codes in the social hall. There may even be a poster out there that can help you immediately with your phone in photo mode. You'll see a link to tap and it'll get you to donations pages. I know that we have both Sharing House and Bread of Life QR codes up there. Unfortunately, the Hunger Coalition donate button is broken, so we could not get you a QR code for that. But there are many ways you can reach out to those folks. We hope that you'll give generously as you're able. Coming up Wednesday, wonderful Wednesday, Sergio Fernandez, the director of Bread of Life, along with he's the executive director, along with Paul Wesley, the financial director, will be here to speak about the vision for Bread of Life, for the expansion and all of that. I've been able to sit with Sergio over at Bread of Life for a brief interview to hear something of the excitement and dedication that he has for the organization and what's going on with it. I'm so glad that Michael could invite him to be here. That was done just before we learned all of this stuff about SNAP and everything else, but it would be a great time to show up. If you're going to show up for the dinner itself, we do need you to show your name on the sign-up list out in the lobby, or to go on Realm. If you're connected as a member through our online system, in some way let us know that you'll be here for the meal so we can have the right count for that. But if you're coming just for the presentation itself at 6:30, you are welcome to show up and bring all your friends for that. We will have again this week out in the lobby, Dinner Anywhere for 2 tickets available. For those of you who were not with us last year to understand this process, we would like each and every one of you to buy up or sell all the 1,000 tickets. This is a major fundraiser, short of the pledge drive and maybe the auction, but still a major fundraiser for the Unitarian Universalists of Transylvania County, supporting us in our mission. And we're supporting the dream of whoever wins and the ability to go anywhere in the world for dinner for 2. And 20 bucks, 1,000 tickets, 1 in 1,000 chance. Hope that you'll give this fundraiser a try. Thank you. Let's see. I will be away this week. I will be attending with the other Southeast Unitarian Universalist ministers. We will have a African American Unitarian Universalist music minister, helping us, I think, sing our way through understanding Unitarian Universalist ministers serving the South. And that'll be a very interesting presentation, energizing for us this week. But I won't be available for appointments, although I can, when I'm in a phone signal, which isn't always true, be able to return calls if you have a pastoral need. Yeah, we do. We're going to welcome RK back later. So people are less panicked about me going away for a few days. This is good. There are so many other things going on in this congregation and in this community, but I think at this point that it is best that we transition to the deeper feeling of worship with one another and let John Austin lead us there with the music.
The chalice lighting, which will be in unison, are words of Amy G.S.A. Brooks. She describes herself as a fat, cisgender, queer, Australian-born immigrant to the United States who loves a good cup of coffee, good cup of hot tea, and hates mornings. She is a minister and author. Even as the days grow shorter, our homes shrink smaller, and our wicks burn lower, and our will to endure flickers. We light this chalice to kindle a flame of warmth, as a reminder of the connection
that draws us into a community that opens us up in gratitude
for the breath in our lungs and the love in our hearts, for the gift of this day alive. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, thank you. At this time in our service, we turn to lighting the candles prayerfully for the joys and the sorrows in this group. We have a note that was submitted this morning and several things that were given to me earlier. Start with a candle of gratitude. Mo and Mary want to thank Susan Zelli and Lisa McHenry for being such wonderful UUs and welcoming us to our new neighborhood in Deer Lake. That's nice. From Judith Moore, I write in my journal each morning the things I'm grateful for. One of them is being here in Brevard, where I have met so many new friends, first from being at the UUTC and then branching out. One of the things I have now that I only hoped for was the peace I have found here. And I'd like to light 2 candles, one for Dawn and one for Linda Lander. Linda was back in the hospital this week, got home on Friday. And Don is handling being caregiver while he's had a really bad cold, though he's getting better. So healing for both of them. I have an anonymous candle for the big milestone years celebrated by members this week, who otherwise might be too shy to announce the ages and years married out loud. And let's light a candle for Edie Gabchik, who is now home from rehab after her broken hip. May she continue to have healing. And we'll light one more candle for those things not yet shared, perhaps held in the hearts of those of you here, or those of you watching us online. May the glow of this candle help us remember that our community still needs its ears open to hear more from one another of our joys and our sorrows. Spirit of love and life, we lift up the lights of each of these candles and our hearts of our community into a place, a prayerful place, holding one another and honoring the ways in which our connections are enhanced by the ways we each recognize with compassion one another, feel for, and reach out to one another in our joys and our sorrows. Amen. Blessed be. I will invite you to remain seated, and I'm going to set an example here. And in response to that candle prayer, let us sing number 123, Spirit of Life. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart the stirrings of compassion. Fall in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
The opening words today are from Reverend Michelle Collins. We arrive carrying the familiar ache of not enough time, not enough rest, not enough certainty about what comes next. But here in the space between one breath and another, something small and persistent whispers, "You are held." We come from days that felt too ordinary to notice, commutes and meetings, dishes and deadlines, the unremarkable hours that make up most of living. But buried in the mundane lie small miracles we walk past without seeing. Some of us learned to count blessings on our fingers. others to whisper thanks to ancestors or earth or sky. We carry different languages of gratitude, different ways of recognizing what sustains us. All of them welcome here. Come, let us worship together. The opening hymn, number 38, is Morning Has Broken. It will be on the screen. Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for the spring, fresh from the like the first dew fall on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness of the wet garden, strong in completeness where God's feet pass. Mine is the sunlight, mine is the morning, born of the one light, Eden's way. Praise with elation, praise every morning, God's recreation of the new day.
Me? Yeah. Thank About 4 months ago, I stood here with a bag full of little go-away presents for R.K. Young as she started on her much-deserved sabbatical. In the months since, we on staff have done our very best to make it look like we didn't need R.K. around. But come on up here, R.K. Because we were just faking it. We understood more deeply what it means to have an administrator with a decade's worth of experience of leading this congregation through how many ministers and years and everything. Yeah. So lots of transitions. This was our guide and anchor. And so we on staff got to step up and say, oh, we could do this. And I'm going to tell the story I told you, and I think you saw it in my board report. It's about changing the toner in the photocopier. We have been going through so many corrections to our financial records and things just to make sure everything's all shipshape for maybe CPA approved financial reports kind of stuff. And that meant a lot of extra copies. This meant that our photocopier out front ran out of toner. And of course it ran out of toner at the exact moment that the finance committee was about to meet. What do? Well, we looked for the spare toner. It needed black toner. There was no other spare black toner. There was a yellow one, there was a cyan one, but there was no black. So what do? It took 3 of us to figure out what we do. Chelsea noticed the problem and told Tricia. Tricia then, who was working remotely, called our service people who work on the machine to say we're out of toner. The service people then put in a rush order, which was sent by UPS, which arrived the very next morning. When I was in the office, I signed for the precious little package and then followed the on-screen instructions and slid it into place. If you had been here, there would have been a spare. If you would have been here, it wouldn't have taken 3 of us to do it. But I want to tell you as I welcome you back that we now know what to do about the toner. And we don't need you to do the toner, because we want you to do some of the higher level tasks of seeing the total picture of this place, or looking into grants for special projects that we might do, and doing some of the other things that you never got around to doing because you were always doing things like replacing the toner. There is truth in that. So as we welcome you back, I want to say it is a huge relief to know that you're back. Yay. And at the same time, I hope that each and every one of us doesn't fall back into the old habits of thinking every question has to be asked to you. Every answer must only be known by you. Every task must be directed by you. That's not the way we're going to go forward. So as I welcome you back with the full authority to just say no. All right. Welcome back, RK. Yeah, the new joke, Howie's pointing out, the joke is, how many you use does it take to change the toner? 3. The neat thing about this place is how we all somehow manage to pull together, even though we're all different, we're diverse, we're a whole bunch of a pluralistic kind of gathering of folks. And we evidence something new in society, well, something old and new. Every time we step forward with our generosity, we make a difference. And those ripples make a difference, not just what gets put in the regular basket, but what goes out in the special envelopes. And I'm going to invite Donna Rayburn forward to come and talk about our special collection of this month. Come on up, Donna, to remind us why we're going to put some extra money into the envelope.
Thank you. Good morning. Yes, Sharing House is my very favorite charity, and I want to tell you some other things that we do besides our pantry. We have a large clothing area from newborns clear up into older people. We supply clothing for all of our people who would like it, and shoes and belts and underwear. That's a very popular area. We have household items that they can get from us: towels, blankets, utensils, dishes, pots, and pans if they need to set up a whole new household. We have showers available, 2 nice big bathrooms with hot water and soap, shampoo, conditioner, and all of that for our forest people and for people who don't have water at home. We also have financial assistance for utility bills. So you can rest assured that if you give cash or checks to Sharing House, they will be used wisely. We have a Wheels to Work project that we really, really would like your help. If you have an older car that you would like to donate, that would be great, because a lot of our people would work if they could get there. And we also have an account that helps people with utility bills of all sorts. We have two special funds, back to school. We helped a little over 1,000 children this year with new sneakers and all the school supplies that their school and their grade wanted. We also have Christmas blessings. It's not too late to donate toys of all kinds or cosmetics for the girls or backpacks and all that, tents and um, forest stuff for the guys. And we help many, many children with that at Christmas time. Each child is given, each parent is given $50 limit for purchasing gifts for the children there at our Christmas store that are highly reduced in price. So it's a very joyful thing. Volunteer if you would like. It's a lot of fun to help these parents provide Christmas for their children. So gift generously, please, this month. We also have our Pack the Pantry the middle Saturday of November, where you can donate at the grocery stores or a lot of other places. Thank you very much.
We will now gratefully receive the morning offering. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Jane. What's given in love, we receive with great joy. Thank you. I want to recognize something that just happened this last week and something that we're observing in this next week in my prayers. In this last week, we had an election and folks were reaffirmed or elected anew into their places. What you may not know was I was asked by the mayor to give the invocation the night before the election at the city council meeting. And I'll share some of that prayer with you and reworked so that it works on a Sunday morning. And also know that in this space and in our community, there are many who are veterans who have put themselves out there and serving our country in various ways, from the earliest 250-year-old organizations to the newest Space Force folks. And so I'd like to share a prayer as well for our veterans. Let us enter into this time of prayer and meditation. Spirit of love and life, we ask for wisdom and support for our elected leaders through the decisions before us as a society, and to remember the wide-ranging diversity of this community as we strive to love our neighbors and love you. Help us be centered to engage in meaningful discussion. May we respect differences, resist divisiveness, and may our good work nurture the bonds of community. We pray for the leaders and public servants of our community, for their health, for their strength through the storms of circumstance which may be arising in their lives. This is a season of thanksgiving. We give thanks to those who step up and serve their neighbors, for their own and their loved ones' sacrifices, so that their dedication to the wider good might be a blessing. We give thanks to those who have stepped up to serve our nation in the various service organizations, the Army, the Navy, the Marines, the Coast Guard, Space Force, and in other ways in which now we recognize Veterans Day, and the ways in which each person who went off and didn't return, and those who did go off and returned for whatever length of time in service, gave of themselves. Thank you for swearing allegiance to the Constitution and to the good of this nation. These and the prayers of our hearts and the meditations of our minds we hold now in the silence. In the names of all those known and unknown, remembered and forgotten, in the names of all the helpers of humankind, we say, Amen. Blessed be.
This is a song that John and I are just learning, and we hope you enjoy it. We'd like to dedicate it. Oh, and both Johns are just learning it, and me too. And we'd like to dedicate it to RK. Hit it, John.
What?
Yeah. To be humble, to be kind, it is a giving of the peace in your mind. To a stranger, to a friend, to give in such a way that has no end. We are love, we are one. We are how we treat each other when day is done. We are peace, we are war. We are how we treat each other and nothing more. To be bold, to be brave, it is the hoping that the heart can still be saved and the darkness can come quick. The dangers in the anger and the hanging on to it. We are love, we are one. We are how we treat each other when day is done. We are peace, we are war. We are how we treat each other and nothing more. And tell me what it is that you see. A world that's full of endless possibilities. And heroes don't look like they used to. They look like you do. We are love, we are one. We are how we treat each other when day is done. We are peace, we are war. We are how we treat each other and nothing more. We are how we treat each other and nothing more. We are how we treat each other.
Thank you. John, and James, thank you. I was looking around for a great reading to go with this, and I came across a commencement speech by Denzel Washington from 10 years ago, and then found that Denzel had used it again, portions of it, and added a little bit to it when he was speaking to a convention of African American Pentecostals the same year. So this is a snippet, just a snippet of what Denzel Washington, the actor, was saying. I pray that you put your slippers way under the bed tonight, so that when you wake up in the morning, you have to get down on your knees to reach them. And while you're down there, say thank you for grace. Thank you for mercy. Thank you for understanding. Thank you for wisdom. Thank you for parents. Thank you for love. Thank you for kindness. Thank you for humility. Thank you for peace. Thank you for prosperity. Say thank you in advance for what's already yours. So that's how I live my life, and that's why I am where I am today. Say thank you in advance for what is already yours. Give thanks for blessings every day, every day. Embrace gratitude. Encourage others. It's impossible to be grateful and hateful at the same time. When I advertised this sermon on nurturing gratitude, I said that I wanted to make sure we grounded ourselves before the rush completely I can't speak today. Trampling over Veterans Day all the way through Thanksgiving Day just to get to Good Friday and getting all things ready for Christmas. That somehow we need to be in a space of gratitude. Now, maybe you aren't one of those people who goes out and shops. That's fine. Maybe you're one of those people who makes a handmade gift for someone. And as you're doing it, you're thinking gratefully about it. I used a quote from Epicurus, and I'll read the full one here because it kind of truncated it to half size to fit in the advertisement for this. Epicurus was known as not a Stoic, but more embracing something of the pleasures of what we have in life. Epicurus said, "Do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. Remember that what you now have was once among the things you only hoped for." I think that's pretty astute. Epicurus was trying to get people to be released from the pain of a whole bunch of stuff that might be whispered in our ears from society of, you need more, you're not enough, you don't have anything, you need more. You could be blissfully in meditation and then be bombarded by a commercial. One that suggests that you won't have a fun time on the beach with a whole bunch of other 20-somethings if you don't walk in with the right six-pack of beer. That you just can't possibly know how to survive a year without the exact right perfume scent advertised by the newest movie star. And yet, we already have stuff. We're already here with what we need. And the pain of wanting is something we could free ourselves from if we could, in fact, nurture gratitude in our lives. I don't know, what did the opening words say today? Not enough time, not enough rest, not enough certainty about what comes next. There's a nice rhyme to that. Always yearning. And yet we are enough. We have the QR codes out there for helping folks who have a lot of food insecurity right now. Yes, the courts say you have to release SNAP funds. No, the Supreme Court says no, not yet. You don't have to do that. The safety nets that are out there for folks going as best as they can from paycheck to paycheck, wondering, are they going to make it? Now, Sharing House was one of those organizations, and thank you, Donna, for telling us about it. And one of the things that Sharing House, when I talked to them, said, you know what we do? We're oftentimes the fourth week of grocery shopping for families because their SNAP benefits run out before the month ends, and they allow somebody to come in who's on assistance to come in and get some more groceries, and that's usually at the fourth week mark. But then when you think on the first of the new month you're going to get a recharged card and be able to go out and get more food, and it doesn't happen. What they said was, I think we're going to have to say we can allow it twice a month. It's always our rule, just once a month. You pick when you want to come in. But maybe now we've got to allow twice a month. But this is not something that we can sustain in our community. Bread of Life said they estimated that they, a year ago, had 800 to 1,000 folks getting meals from them. And they said, we really underestimated our budgeting for this year because we're probably hitting 1,200 now. And this was before November 1st snap cut off. Sometimes, in the midst of all the fear that comes from that, we don't feel safe. We don't feel like we have the shelter we need. We don't have food and the health that we need. In the midst of that, it seems cruel for a minister to stand up and say, be thankful for what you do have. I don't want you to hear that if you are indeed in this space and that is what you are feeling. When I was a starving theological student, not quite starving, but pretty darn close, Sunday coffee hour was my meal for Sunday. I'd hover around that plate of cookies, that juice, and I'd fill up. I know, though, that I haven't been in that place for a long, long time. And I am so glad. I'm glad that I have a roof over my head and I can do something of value to you that you would like to pay me so that I have a roof over my head. I know that Christy and I can help support us, help raise our kids, help reach out and do what we can to help other people. And when I'm on my walks and I'm thinking about stuff, and I'm walking through the woods in this fall with the leaves coming down, the light crunch under my feet, I am thankful for the things that I have. AI told me this week on the computer, I gotta shut it off somehow. It comes up when I do a search, but AI seemed pretty good this time. The 4 A's of gratitude, it says, are awareness, acknowledgement, appreciation, and action. They represent a 4-step process to cultivate thankfulness, becoming aware of the good things in life, acknowledging and valuing those things, appreciating their significance, and taking action to express that gratitude. Nurturing gratitude takes awareness, acknowledgement, appreciation, and finally, action. Where is the moment in your day that Denzel Washington would have said when you put your slippers way far under your bed so you had to be on your knees? Where is the moment in your day in which you take a pause and say, thank you? Thank you for what you got, even if it's just air to breathe. Because believe me, there are people down the road in the hospital who are struggling to breathe. What is it that you do in your life to appreciate what you do have? I know when I was at my lowest in terms of economic sustenance, I was also acutely aware of how others could share some of the bounty that I had. And wait a minute, I was struggling. But I had safety nets of support. My parents could still pitch in if I needed something. My friends would invite me out for dinner and cover my bill. I am grateful that I have not been so isolated or felt like I needed to make myself isolated, because it was the folks around me who made sure that I could stop and breathe deep for a while, that I could remember the things that are going right for me, and that from the depth of my fears I could get deeper into a place of compassion and know I could be a spark in reaching out to another person. in which case they might be grateful for knowing they weren't isolated and alone. Awareness, acknowledgement, appreciation, and action. All of those combined. I quoted Epicurus earlier, and there's another couple of things, of rules that Epicurus had. And Epicurus said, anything good is easily attainable. Anything terrible is easily endured. And other times I think that's a little bit optimistic. But it's not a bad teaching if I need to repeat that to myself 100 times. Anything good is easily attainable. Anything terrible is at least maybe not easily endurable. I'm not quite a follower of Epicurus on that. But yeah, anything terrible can be endured. If I recognize what I've got, if I can be grateful for the people I've got in my life, if I can be grateful for the things I have that allow me to have a warm place to sleep at night, a meal. I want all of us to remember what's great, what helped us get us to where we are, what ways we have something to give to others. Seems to me we always have something to give to others, even if it's just a smile. And in this way, before we turn the ads back on and try to decide which perfume it is that will change our lives, which whatever new gadget has to be purchased, we stop and be grateful. And we do something out of action to express that gratitude out loud, that others may be grateful for us as a gift in this world. Thank you for listening. Now, in case you would like a shaker song, I've got one for you. In case you'd like some way to remind you, although Epicurus wasn't quite into simplicity as much as the Stoics were, that maybe we could find it to be a gift to be simple. Let's sing it through twice, John says. I agree. Let's rise and sing together as we can. 'Tis a gift to be simple. Ourselves in the place May you be blessed by moments of awareness, moments in which you can know once again and with gratitude of what you have. May you go out into this world with something to give to others, that they too may know that they can make it through because there are folks around them who see them and care. May you, as you walk out there and get beaten down in the storm of circumstance, know that you can come back into this lovely, warm space and community again and again. Blessings on all of you.